forgot to connect the drink phone. Yes, confirmed. Is the drink, is it on now? I'm not, we forgot to connect it. We don't have the drink, sorry. Is it on or not? The drink? No, the pedal. No, you will not have the... No, it says...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live in UFRL for the Season 7 draft. So this is going to be part 1 of 2. The first part, of course, tonight, and the second part will be tomorrow evening, scheduled for 8 o'clock as well. As you can see on the screen, we have got 3 little parts for you. So first of all, the Season 6 champions of last season. In Tier 1, Pesci had a massive battle with Hazer all the way to the Circuit of the Americas and took absolute maximum points, pole position, the sprint win and the race win to win the title by just 6 points. Hazer just missing out. He was leading the way for quite a large part of the season as well, Hazer, but it was very close between a duo. In Tier 2, I had a battle with Ghost. Ghost had a couple of DNFs about 3/5 of the way through the season, and that sort of meant the championship swung in my way. In Tier 3, Sainsy won the title at Abu Dhabi. He had a big battle with a few drivers. Speedy Bullet, his teammate, done well as well, but missed out on the top 3. 50 Gen got 3rd place, but he's not one of those driving this season. In 100% Tier, Hazer had to fend off Merc and Rusted Bolt for that title. Again, that did go to the wire. And in the international tier, the earliest champion effectively was Mr. Poem, who also won the Season 5 title as well for the international tier. So he has won back-to-backs. Who can take it away from Mr. Poem, if anyone? Or will he make it 3 in a row for Season 7? But there you go. Those are your champions from last season. And let's head into what will be the draft. And here we go. So, on screen for you there, As you can see on the Monday, which is tonight, we are first of all going to start with the calendar draft. So we have got preset calendars, which will be calendars A, B, C, D, and E, which I will show you in a moment's time. And they'll be drafted with their respective tiers, whether it's tier A or just tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, inter-tier, or the 100% tier. So preset drafted calendars, and we'll see which tier gets which calendar. Then we'll show you the 100% tier driver, so that is just showing you it and the method as well for what will be going forward for the 100% tier for Season 7. Then we'll be doing the international tier draft, so again, all the 20 drivers, there's a few reserves in there as well that we have selected, but that will be for Season 7, and we are doing it a little bit differently this season in terms of how we are going to be drafting them. So it will be that all 20 drivers will be drafted, but there's going to be two pots, Pot A and Pot B. Pot A will be effectively those who are tier 1 drivers or the quickest effectively. Pot B will be those who aren't quite tier 1. And then from there, we have one Pot A driver and one Pot B driver into each respective team. So you might have a tier 1 and you might have a tier 3 driver in the same team, that sort of thing. You won't be getting two tier 1 drivers in the same team, for example. And then after that, we'll be doing the tier announcements. So that'll be quite important for those who are in just tiers 1, 2, and 3. We won't be doing their draft tonight, and that'll be tomorrow night, because that will be with the team principals. Speaking of which, for the team principal draft, we'll be doing that right at the very end this evening. And for that, that'll be crucial because they want to see what team they are in and also what will be their draft order, aka who gets first pick. That'll be done tonight as well. But let's start off then also, actually before that, I'll go on to tomorrow then. So again, you've got a full tier 1, 2 and 3 draft with the team principals as well. So they will be selecting their drivers. Wednesday is just reserved just in case we need it, but I'm hoping we can get it all done in 2 days. And then there are your Season 7 starting and final date as well. So starting off next Monday for Tier 1. And then we'll have the finale on September the 28th for the international tier. And every track will be represented between 2 or 3 occasions. So Great Britain, for example, will be on the calendar at least 2 or 3 times. Let's go into things then, and we'll be starting off with the calendar. So, if I can get that on. And there you go. So those are your 5 calendars listed. And we've got calendar A, calendar B, calendar C, calendar D, and last of all, calendar E are all listed for you guys. And on the right hand side of the screen, you will have the tiers. So that'll be the spinning of the wheel. Tiers 1, 2, and 3, the inter-tier, and the 100% tier are all there for you. And let's now go to spin the wheel. So, first one we'll do is to spin which tier it will be. So the first one will be for the respective tier, and this will start off with the international tier. So the first one listed will be the inter-tier. And what we'll do is we'll hide that one. So the international tier has now been selected. So next up we'll do which tier or which calendar it will be. You should say calendar A, calendar B, etc. So don't worry too much on that, but let's go ahead and spin the wheel. So for the international tier, it will be calendar D. So calendar D will get the international tier. So let's see if the drivers will like that one. There you go. So getting calendar D for the inter-tier means they will start at Japan and it will run through to the Mexican Grand Prix for the finale on September the 28th. That will be. So Mexico for the final race in Season 7 UFRL, and that will be for the international tier. Now let's go back, shall we, for the tier list. And there you go. So we've got 4 remaining. I should have actually removed that, but don't worry, again, I know which one it is. So let's spin it again. We've got tiers 1, 2, and 3, and we've got the 100% tier remaining. So the second tier will be Tier 3. So which calendar will get Tier 3? That will be a critical one as well. Let's go straight into that one. So I am just going to quickly remove calendar D. So there you go. We've got 4 remaining. Calendars A, B, C, and E are remaining. I am just going to give it a few little shuffles as well. And let's go and spin the wheel. For Tier 3, this is, don't forget. So, Tier 3 will be getting, it is close, but it will be calendar B. So, Tier 3, calendar B goes together. And let's see, calendar B then. So it will start off at Spielberg, Austria, and it will go all the way down to Monza, Italy, for those driving in Tier 3, which they won't know who exactly is driving in there just yet. Some may have a rough idea of where they're going to be racing, though, but there you go. Tier 3 will start at Austria, and it will finish at Monza. Now let's go down to the next tier, shall we? So, got 3 remaining. Got Tier 1, Tier 2, and the 100% tier. Again, we're going to give it a shuffle. And let's go forward. This will be the third calendar for you. So the 100% tier, is it going to be? Yes, it will. So 100% tier. And we're going to be down to 2 on that one. But we've got to go to this one. So we've got calendars A, C, and E remaining. And again, a couple of shuffles. And let's go. So with the international, the 100% tier, sorry, it will be the 100% tier, and it will be, it's very close, but it will be Tier E. Or calendar E, shall we say. So calendar E will go in line with the 100% tier. So, calendar E then will be starting off at Zandvoort, Netherlands, and it will end at Abu Dhabi. So, going to be important for those drivers. Did I say A? Sorry, yeah, I meant B. Sorry, I did take off calendar B. So calendar B for Tier 3. Do we have calendar B off there? Just double check in a second. But anyways, we're going to remove that one. So we've got Tiers 1 and 2 remaining. And let's see then, which one will it be? Tier 1 or Tier 2? Again, it's pretty close, but it looks to be the Tier 1 calendar. So, of course, most would already know that Pesci and Hazer are going to be in there. They were fighting for the championship last season after all. So this is effectively crucial for Pesci and Hazer, but that is your Tier 1 calendar. Let's see then. We won't really have to do the final one, really. And let's go to the next part then, shall we? So we do have calendars A and C remaining. Yep, that is correct. Right. So calendars A and C. And which one will go with Tier 1? It will be calendar C. So, for those racing in Tier 1 this season, calendar C is what you're going to be looking at. And calendar C will kickstart at Silverstone next Monday, and it will finish at Interlagos, Brazil. So that is your rundown for Tier 1 on Monday nights. Great Britain, Qatar, Mexico, Portugal, Singapore, Australia, Japan, Miami, Bahrain, Vegas, Canada, and Brazil. So that is your Tier 1 track. So people should be prepping for Silverstone for those in Tier 1 then. And that means only one thing. If I remove that one, it means that for Tier 2, it will be in line with calendar A. So those racing in Tier 2, which again, they won't know yet, and they will find it out, but I will go through the calendars later on as well for those who have just forgotten, simply. But there you go. So Tier 2 will get calendar A, and that will start off... Oh, I made the mistake. I know what mistake I made. I was talking about a different calendar, wasn't I? So Tier 2 gets calendar A, which is Austria down to Monza. Tier 3, my apologies on this, will go from Bahrain to Belgium. So Tier 3 is Bahrain to Belgium. Tier 2 is Austria to Monza. My apologies, I know what mistake I made now. Who was it who said it? I think it was Scott, yeah. My apologies, Scott. Now I know what you meant. But there you go. So your Canada's in full. Tier 1 will get Canada C. I'm sure people will be writing this down as well. Tier 2 will be Canada A. Tier 3 will be Canada B. 100% tier will be Canada E. And the international tier will be Canada D. And those are your Canadas for Season 7 completed. Is anybody particularly happy with those? Is anybody disappointed? Would you have preferred a different calendar? Some of those will be racing across all 3 tiers, some of them in 2 tiers. But for those in particular in just a 1 tier, I am quite interested to know whether you're happy with that calendar. But either way, all the calendars are fairly strong. They've got some good tracks. Some of them have got some weaker tracks as well, don't get me wrong. But all the openers and the finales looking pretty tasty. But there you go. So those are all your calendars completed. Let's go up then. And the next part on the list is to do the 100% tier drivers. Right. So with that in mind, let's go to that. There's just a few things that I've got to get on. Let's get. So we've already got that. And there you go. That is your 100% tier drivers list. Makes it a bit easier. We don't actually need the wheel either for this, but in full then, your Season 6 champion Hazer, your Season 5 champion and Season 6 runner-up Merck. You've also got Mr. Poem, you've got Coffee, Beast, Algery, Doug, Folcore Warrior, Death Sea, Brewdog, Destroyer Drac, Wilco, Widget, Batman, Poochie Head, Willie Fernandez, Kingy OG, Kingy the King, John Casey, and Adam the Sweet. Those are your 20 drivers for the 100% tier in full, and a couple of reserves, Young Light and Black Panther. Any other driver who does wish to race on the Friday nights at 8 o'clock PM, you can also become a reserve for that. But the full method for the 100% tier will be effectively like last season. We are planning to have a draft for Season 8, but for Season 7 it will be like last season. For those newer drivers who aren't sure how we do it, the list will be done on like a Wednesday or Thursday night. I think the Thursday night will be most likely, and you'll be picked based on your overall pace. Where's your Season 4 championship? Literally, you've only listed Season 5 and 6 champions on this, to be fair. But yeah, I could have done that. My apologies, Coffee. Season 4 champion is Coffee as well. There you go. But yeah, I've just added to Season 5 and 6. No way we got Batman and UFRL. Wait, do you know Batman? Oh, there you go, then. Should have got Robin in as well, shouldn't we? But anyways, yeah, Batman is here in his tier. Actually, I won't tell you what tier it is. I can't even remember which tier. Oh, I do remember now. But anyways, there you go. 100% tier for those drivers. But yeah, the method is like last season for those newer drivers. Basically, depending on your overall pace and a little bit with your consistency and whatnot and your overall results in all tiers really, but mainly the 100% tier, we'll be looking at all of that sort of data and therefore figuring out which car is best for you. It's the realistic cars as well, don't forget. Yeah, Rusted Bolt, you didn't sign up for it, but again, you can go for the reserves list. So you'll be the 23rd driver effectively, and you'll most likely end up getting a full-time seat anyway because you raced a lot last season. But yeah, so like last season, it will be literally we'll be picking your car on the Thursday evening or Thursday night, and then that will be that. So it's realistic cars, don't forget, for the 100% tier. And on that one, we'll now go forward to the international tier, which will be a draft as well. I'll be just a moment just setting everything up. But yeah, Rusted Bolt didn't sign up for it. That's the reason why, Drac. But he is, it seems like he does want to be in there. So he'll be a reserve and effectively be the 23rd driver. But again, he didn't sign up for it. So there you go. So let's get the next one done. And that'll be, I'll be just a moment because it will be the international tier, which I've got to set it up. So just a second. Right then. And this is for Season 7 in the International tier. That is your full drivers list as well. So we've got the Season 5 and 6 champion, UFRL Mr. Poem. And then we've got UFRL Coffee, Dutch Beast, UFRL Mercs, Algery, UFRL Doug, Angry Badger, Matthias, who is racing in the International tier this season, UFRL Stickman, UFRL Wilco, Black Panther. The return of him, of course, he was Tier 1 a little bit last season, but didn't race much. He did race a few times in Tier 2 as well. Kingy the King, Kingy OG, the two kings are there as well. UFRL EDMP, which is, of course, known as Bad Boy. Salty Stevens, Gooders, I Am Batman, Coles, John Casey, and Young Lights is also in there. So those are your 20 full-time drivers for the International tier. A few reserves, Lynx, who didn't actually race that much last season, even though he was full-time, hence why he's only gone to a reserve for this season. If he could prove that he races a lot, he'd probably get a full-time seat. Adam the Sweet, new driver this season, and also PRV Widget in there as well. So again, if you do sign up to be a reserve, you'll most likely be able to get a seat each week if you're able to. But there you go. Let's go then to this. And also on the right side, you see the 10 drivers, not 20. As I stated earlier, we are doing 2 pots for the International tier. Pot A and Pot B. This is Pot A. So these are your 10 drivers who are effectively based around the time trials, based around the tiering, who are the quickest. So on that list, you've got Algery, Merc, Beast, Coffee, Mr. Poem, Black Panther, Salty Stevens, Young Light, Bad Boy, and Matthias. And those are your sort of quicker drivers, and they are in Pot A. So let's get the drafting for that, shall we? And also, I'm going to go to a slightly different screen now on the left side, which is necessary. So where am I going with this? I want to go to get you the... That one's what I need. Right. So again, it will just be a couple of little changes that we're having to do, but it's not too much. There you go. So 20 drivers are listed on there, which we will have 20 drivers listed on there in a moment. I'll be updating that as we go. Now, let's get started then, shall we? For Pot A of the International tier, and then we will be going with Pot B. And let's also ensure we've got the correct one. So I do want to get the teams up. So just a moment. Hopefully it will save it if I get the teams. There you go. So that's the teams on there. 10 teams in total, of course. And then if I go back, I'm hoping it stays on there. Into tier A. There you go. Right. Has it stayed on there? No, that's fine. Right, anyways. I was hoping it would be easier, but it's not. So let's go for the first driver and see who will it be for the International tier in Season 7. And the first driver will be Algery. So Algery will be the first driver listed then. And let's get him on to the page as well. Actually, we won't, because we've got to draft that as well. So Algery is the first driver. And now we'll see what team Algery will be in. And here we go. For Season 7 in the International tier, Algery will be racing in the Aston Martin. So confirmation, Aston Martin have secured Algery for Season 7. And again, let's get that one on there. So the first driver, Algery. And there you go. Again, that will be updating as we go along. Let's go to the next one. Again, sadly, it's not on there, so we're going to have to go to it and into tier Pot A. And now we're going to shuffle it a few times, and let's go again. The second driver to be listed. I think Algery's actually written on there, which he shouldn't be. Actually, I'll do it again because Algery shouldn't have been on there. So I'll go again. So the second driver will be UFRL Mr. Poem, the 2-time reigning champion from seasons 5 and 6. So this one will be a crucial one. which team will Mr. Poem get for Season 7? And again, do a few shuffles, and let's go again. So for UFRL, Mr. Poem, the reigning champion. Don't forget, he cannot get in the Aston Martin, which I will probably need to remove actually, but he will get the Cash App Visa RB, or the Visa Cash App RB. So again, let's get that one listed on there for you guys. It's an interesting one. I wouldn't have thought Mr. Poem will get that car, but it will be the Visa RB this season in the international tier for Mr. Poem. And let's also do a couple of changes on here as well. So we'll hide that one, and we'll also hide the Aston Martin. There you go. So we've got 8 teams on there for you guys as well. Just going to have a look, see what everybody's saying on the stream. What have I missed? Not too much. You missed the calendars. And we'll be going through the tier announcements soon, so Ghost, don't worry too much on that. We've still got to go through what tiers everybody will be in. We have gone through the international 100% tier, but I know you're not in either of those. So your moment will come fairly soon, but we're going through the international tier next season right now. So as you can see, Algory and Mr. Poem have got their teams already listed. So let's now go forward back to the drivers in pot A for the international tier. So we can now remove Mr. Poem's name, and we can remove Algary's name. And now we've got 8 drivers listed, and let's go for the 3rd driver in the international tier this season. And it is going to be Dutch Beast. So Dutch Beast will be the 3rd driver going forward then. And now let's go forward to, if it's still listed on here, it's not. So let's get the teams up then for Beast. Who would he go into? This will be an opportunity what he can do in the enter tier, but let's shuffle again. We've got to do a few changes. The Aston Martin should be out, and the Visa RB should also be out. I think I should save that as I go along actually. But anyways, let's spin this wheel. And there we go. So, for Dutch Beast, for Season 7 in the international tier, and he'll be racing in the Stake Sauber. So there you go. The Sauber, the Kick Sauber, effectively, for Dutch Beast. How would he fare in that car for next season? We'll only find out, but Dutch Beast will be in the Stake Sauber. There you go. So, Algory in the Aston Martin, Mr. Poem in the Visa RB, Dutch Beast in the Stake Sauber. Those are your 3 picks so far for next season. Now, we'll go back to, and also I want to make sure that that car is out and save it. So it should, now that I've saved it, I'm hoping that it does fully save. Let's go back to the pot A list. And has this saved? It has. There you go. So that's what I've got to be doing. Right. Do a few shuffles again, and let's go to the 4th driver for the international tier this season. And the 4th driver will be the new driver, and it will be Young Lights. Pretty quick tier 1 pace as well. I'll hide him and we'll save it. But Young Lights, what team will he be driving in for next season? As you can see, we have got should be 7 teams remaining, and indeed it is. Let's shuffle it. This is the team for Young Lights for Season 7 in the international tier. And Young Lights will be racing in the Mercedes. So Mercedes will be getting Young Lights. Good pick, really. Young Lights driving in the Mercedes. How will we get on for next season? We'll find out, but just got to try and remember, how do we, I think it's this. There you go. So Young Light in that Mercedes is done. So Young Light, Algory, Mr. Poem and Dutch Beast have got their teams sorted. They just need to find out what their teammates are. But let's go back. I want to make sure I've saved it actually, which I did, so that's fine. Let's go back to pot A. Right. Got 6 drivers remaining, and let's spin the wheel. So this will be the next pick then for the international tier, and Black Panther is the name. I think he's load in the Discord, but Black Panther is out, and let's go to see what team he'll be racing in for next season. Starting to get the method of this now. Right, Black Panther then. Let's shuffle it a few times and go again. So this will be the team for Black Panther in Season 7 in the international tier, and it will be the Williams. There you go. So Black Panther gets the Williams for Season 7 in the international tier, and let's get that listed on there for you guys. There you go. So Young Light, Algary, Black Panther, Mr. Poem, and Dutch Beast have all got their teams so far. And with that in mind, let's save this and go back towards the driver list. I'm hoping I did save the last one. Fairly sure I did. And then after we've done pot A, of course, we'll be doing pot B as well. Black Panther's got to be removed. There you go. Right. Shuffle it a few times and let's go again for the 6th driver in the international tier. And UFRL EDMP, aka Bad Boy, is your 6th driver. So remove him, save the list, and then we'll switch around to the teams list. Right. What team will Bad Boy be in for Season 7 in the international tier? And Bad Boy will be racing in the McLaren. So Bad Boy and the McLaren will go hand in hand. And again, I've not actually seen Bad Boy in the McLaren before, so that'll be an interesting one. But there you go. Bad Boy in the McLaren for Season 7 for the international tier. Right, now let's hide the McLaren and let's go back towards the 7th driver from pot A, and we've got Coffee, Matthias, Merck, and Salty Stevens still remaining. I'm going to do this pick and then I'll go back onto the stream, see if anybody said anything. But the next pick is Salty Stevens, just about ahead of Matthias. So we're going to hide Salty Stevens. We'll have 3 drivers remaining. But joining Salty Stevens, let's see what team he'll be selected in for this season. I've also got to remove the McLaren. Probably because I didn't save the last one. But anyways. So, Salty Stevens for Season 7. And he'll be racing in the Alpine. I also don't believe I've seen him in the Alpine. So, Salty Stevens will be driving the Alpine for Season 7 in the international tier. And now we go and just check what everybody's saying. We'll make sure we've saved that list as well. Just before I do, I'm just going to quickly get on the list for the drivers, just so I don't forget where I'm at. And I know one driver's got to be removed, and that will be Salty Stevens. Right, there you go. So we've got 3 drivers remaining. What has been said on the stream? Right, make sure to put my full... Yep, I'm not doing that, Matthias, don't you worry. King OG, you're not particularly happy. Do you know, I don't know if you are saying that because you're not on the list, but you're in pot B, by the way. We're doing it in 2 separate pots. We've got pot A and pot B. Good evening, 50 Gent. Hope you are doing well. Noticed you didn't sign up for the next season. I'm hoping that you'll be looking to at least reserve. That'd be ideal. Nice. But it's nice to see you on the stream anyways. Of course, you're a long-time member in UFRL. But right, let's go back to the business, shall we? We've got 3 drivers left in pot A for the international tier. We have got Coffee, we have got Merck, and we have got Matthias. And let's shuffle a few times, and let's go. For your 8th driver from pot A. And it will be Matthias. So the big heavyweight name, really. Matthias, if he races every race, he will be the favourite, you imagine. Or amongst the favourites, probably with the likes of Hazer as well. Then you've got Bad Boy, Mr. Poem, Merck. Young Lights could be a threat as well. So certainly a few contenders, but Matthias will be up there if he can race a lot of the time. Anyways, let's remove him and save the list, and we'll go back to it. So, back to the teams we go. We've got 3 teams. We've got Red Bull, Ferrari, and the Haas. Shuffle it a few times, and let's go. This is for Matthias, ladies and gentlemen. For Season 7 in the International tier, Matthias will be racing in the Haas. So he doesn't get the 2 heavyweight teams that he may have been looking at, but Haas will be for Matthias. Interesting one, that one. So, there you go. So, Matthias and the Haas, we've got Bad Boy, Young Light, Algory, Matthias, Black Panther, Salty Stevens, Mr. Poem, and Dutch Beast have all got their teams for next season. And we're down to just the 2 drivers to figure out their teams in Pot A. We've got Coffee and we've got Merc. Let's go. Will it be Merc or will it be Coffee? It will be Coffee. So Coffee will be the next driver. And with that in mind, we'll obviously hide him. It doesn't really matter that much, but this is the team for Coffee for next season. As you can see, we did not remove the Haas, silly, but there you go. Let's go then. We've got Red Bull and we've got Ferrari. For UFRL Coffee for next season, it will be the Red Bull. There you go. So the Dutchman may just go into Max Verstappen's car. Hopefully he won't do what he did at the weekend with Lando Norris. But either way, it will be UFRL Coffee in the Red Bull, which means only one thing. UFRL Mercs will be in the Ferrari. Merc, of course, was your Season 5 champion in the 100% tier. So Merc will be selected in the Ferrari. And those are your first 10 drivers from Pot A, all listed for the international tier. Now, let's go forward to what you haven't yet seen. And that will be the next pot, Pot B. Let's get all the teams are back on for you as well. There you go. So each of the 10 teams are listed on there. We'll save that as well. And now, for the first time, you get to see who is in Pot B for the international tier. It's basically everybody else who wasn't in Pot A. And there you go. So the full names for you then. Didn't know it was John Casey. It's actually spelled incorrectly. Let's put that correct. Right. Because we were going to start off there. John Casey, UFRL Stickman, Gooders, UFRL Doug, UFRL Wilco, Kingy OG, Angry Badger, Kingy the King, Coles 1997, and I Am Batman. Those are your 10 drivers in Pot B for the international tier this season. What we'll do first is we will give it a little shuffle, and then we'll get the first driver out. After the first pick, I'll go back onto the stream, see what's being said. But the first pick will be Coles 1997. So Coles will be linking up with which team and which driver. That is the most important thing. This is for Coles, and it's to see which team he'll be in for next season. Again, do a few shuffles. This will be important. So Coles 1997. He will be racing in the Ferrari. And there you go. It will be the Ferrari for Coles 1997. And he'll be linking up with Merc. So there you go. Merc and Coles 1997 are your team for Ferrari. I will notice that Coles 1997 did pretty good time trials. Of course, we'll go down to which tier he is in later on. But his time trials were pretty solid. Let's go up then towards the next driver. We'll also hide that pick. So Ferrari will not be out again for the international tier. Let's go back then towards Pot B. Coles is still on there, which he shouldn't be. That's because I obviously didn't save it. I'll save it now. But anyways, let's go to it then. The second driver for the international tier. Who will be your second driver? It will be UFRL Doug. Will get the opportunity. Of course, he was tier 2 last season. He was the international tier and 100% tier as well. What will Doug be able to do on the new game? We've seen him. I have seen him a couple of times in races. He's actually beat me for pace at least both times. Yeah, qualifying pace has been pretty good for Doug. Actually, no, I say that. Yeah, it's been pretty decent. but his race pace has seemingly picked up pretty nicely. So Doug will be a good opportunity for him in the international tier. If he can get a strong teammate, he could be right there for the constructors as well. But Doug in pot B, and now let's see which team he'll be in for season 7. So these are your remaining teams. Everybody bar the Ferrari is left. So for UFRL Doug, he will be in the Red Bull for next season, and that means he'll be linking up with UFRL Coffee. So it will be Coffee and Doug for next season. There you go. So Coffee and Doug at the heavyweight Red Bull. Can they do the damage that they wish to provide? Hopefully not the damage that Verstappen wishes to provide at times. But let's go to the next one. Next driver will be the third driver from pot B. Right. So we've got 8 drivers remaining. Let's do another shuffle. And let's go again. The third driver in pot B for the international tier will be Angry Badger. So again, another driver who's pretty consistent for his overall pace. Does make a few mistakes here and there, but a solid driver overall. Who will be the teammate for Angry Badger for season 7 in the international tier? Let's also save that. Let's go to the next one, which will be back to the team selections. As you can see, 8 teams remaining, all bar the Red Bull and the Ferrari. And let's do a quick little shuffle and we'll spin again. Oh, and it will be the McLaren. That's an interesting one. So the McLaren will be selected there. Good opportunity. Let's see what he can do. But a McLaren for Angry Badger. So let's get that one listed on there as well. So McLaren, Angry Badger, and Bad Boy will be his teammate for next season. Right, let's check back on the. Actually, I'll get rid of that. There you go. So let's go back onto the stream, see if anything has been mentioned since. Let's go. Oh, a lot of support for Doug, poor man's Alex Albon. Yes, Sergeant Coffee. This is more entertainment than the football. I'll tell you what, I've not even been looking at the football today because I've been sorting out the draft a fair bit. A bit for tonight, a little bit for tomorrow. Still got a bit to do for tomorrow, but either way, it's mainly for tonight that I was focused on. I'll have a look at the football after I've done the draft though. But anyways, let's go back to it. Those are your teams so far. 3 complete teams, all Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari, which are the 3 strongest teams as well, effectively, based on car performance. So it's an interesting one. Let's see if any of the lower teams will be selected next. Right. Let's go back, save that one. And then we'll go to the next driver for pot B. As you can see, we've still got 7 drivers remaining. Another shuffle, and let's go. So the 4th driver for the international tier from pot B will be UFRL Stickman, who has won the international tier before, might I add. Was that season 3, I believe? He beat Doug to the title. So Stickman is right there. And his team for next season then. So 7 remaining, all bar the McLaren, Red Bull and Ferrari. UFRL Stickman will be racing in the Aston. Would it be the Aston or would it be the Haas? It's the Aston Martin. So UFRL Stickman is racing in the Aston Martin alongside Algerie for next season. Let's see how that one fares. But Algerie and UFRL Stickman at Aston Martin for season 7. Right, we'll hide that one and let's save that. Let's return back to the drivers for pot B. And here we go. 6 remaining. Kingy OG, Batman, Gooders, Kingy the King, Wilco, and John Casey. Let's give this another shuffle then, shall we? And here we go. The 5th driver for pot B will be Gooders, a new driver. So I've not seen a lot of him either, so I can't really judge what I've seen. Therefore, it'll be an interesting one. But Gooders will be in Pot B, and let's see what team he'll be in for Season 7, shall we? So the teams, there you go. So your remaining teams are on the board for you. And for Gooders for Season 7 in the International tier, and Gooders will be racing at the Mercedes. So again, another big team has gone. And that'll be Gooders driving alongside Young Lights for Season 7. We'll hide that one. So we've got 5 picks left in the draft for Pot B. Let's open it up then, shall we? So, 5 drivers. John, Kingy OG, Kingy the King, Wilco and Batman still remaining. Let's go for another shuffle. And the 6th driver will be... Who will this one be? It will be... It's close, but it will be Kingy OG. So let's see, who does Kingy OG race in for next season? And again, we'll be saving that one. And let's go back. So 5 teams are on there for you. The Visa RB, the Stakes Sauber, the Alpine, the Williams and the Haas are all remaining for Kingy OG. Do a few shuffles and let's go again. So for Kingy OG, for Season 7 in the International tier, you will be racing for Team Haas, is it? Yes, it is. So Team Haas for Kingy OG for next season, and that means you'll be linking up with Matthias. Oh, that's a team and a half. And that could be the early favourites for the title. Matthias and Kingy OG for Haas. That'll be a strong team. Right. I think so far, from what I'm seeing from the teams, that will be my favourite so far to win a title. Let's see how it goes. It just depends how often Matthias can race, but that could be an exceptional lineup. Now, we've got 4 teams left for that. Let's go to the 7th driver then. But Kingy OG and Matthias could certainly be a winning formula for next season. I'll just quickly go, before I go to that, I will check what the stream is saying. Right. See, so we've got, again, Dougie getting some interest. Hello, Putchy, hope you are doing very well. Yes, Putch. King OG not too happy. Either way, you've got a strong teammate, so see how it goes. King OG and Matthias. Haas are the ones to beat now. Yes, indeed, it looks that way. Yeah, 2 of the strongest drivers in their respective pots, so it makes sense. Big man, King OG, yep, there you go. Getting together very, very quickly, there you go. Matthias and King OG. Right, let's go then to the next driver. We've still got a few teams left to complete, but we've got 4 drivers there. Kingy the King, Batman, Wilco and John Casey. I don't know why John Casey's name didn't even save. Let's get that sorted out, shall we? I did save it earlier. I'm not sure why it didn't save. Oh, because I didn't save a list. That makes sense. I'm going to save it now so it knows. There you go. So, the 7th driver will be for the International tier in Pot B. And it will be, there you go, of course. I changed his name back and it is John Casey. I'm glad it shows up as John Casey when it actually gets picked. But there you go. So John Casey will be the 7th driver. Let's get this saved. And let's go along to the teams then. So for John Casey, which team will John Casey be racing in for Season 7? And it will be the Kick Sauber or Stake Sauber, whatever you wish to call it. But it will be John Casey in that vehicle for next season, and he will be lining up alongside Dutch Beast. So John Casey and Dutch Beast will be linking up for Season 7. Right, hide that one. Let's oh, wrong one. My apologies. Let's go back up to this. Save that. And go back towards the next one. So, into tier Pot B. And we've got 3 drivers. Batman, Kingy the King and Wilco are all remaining. And let's go. The 8th driver from Pot B will be Is it going to be Kingy the King? Yes, it will. So Kingy the King is your 8th driver. And now, which team will Kingy the King be racing in for Season 7 in the International Tier? As you can see, we've got 3 teams remaining. We've got Alpine, Williams, and Visa Cash App RB. Kingy the King will be racing. It's close. It will be Williams. So the Williams. Why did I say Visa? So Kingy the King will be racing alongside Black Panther at the Williams team for next season, meaning we've got 2 teams remaining, the Alpine and Visa RB, Salty Stevens and Mr. Poem. But let's hide that one. Right, save that, and we'll go back towards Pot B. So we've got Batman and we've got Wilco. Those are your 2 remaining drivers for the international tier. And let's see who will get drafted then. The 9th driver from Pot B will be I Am Batman. So Batman is the one for that one. And let's go towards the teams. 2 teams remaining. I Am Batman. I'll do a couple of shuffles and we'll go to it. Visa RB or the Alpine. Who would it be for I Am Batman? It will be the Visa RB. So Visa RB for Batman, and that means he'll be linking up with Mr. Poem. So again, a pretty strong team, I'd say. I Am Batman, very good driver. He'll be linking up with Mr. Poem, the reigning champion. And that'll be your Visa RB completed. And Salty Stevens' teammate will be UFRL Wilco in the Alpine as a result. So that is your full international tier draft. As you can see, at the Red Bull, UFRL Coffee and UFRL Doug. McLaren, it will be Bad Boy alongside Angry Badger. Ferrari will be Merc and Coles. Mercedes, Young Light alongside Gooders. In the Aston Martin, Algerie alongside Stickman. Haas will be Matthias and Kingy OG. That could be your early favourites. Williams, Black Panther and King of the King. Again, if both are able to race often, particularly Black Panther because he's been inconsistent with being able to make a lot of races. In fact, he's made very few. But if he could race a lot next season in the Inter-Tier, Williams could be a potential threat. Salty Stevens and Wilco at the Alpine, Mr. Poem and Batman, that could be another team to watch out for in the Visa RB, and Dutch Beast alongside John Casey and a Stake Sauber. But for me, you've probably got, I don't know, I think Merck and Coles could be pretty good in a Ferrari. Maybe McLaren up there as well. You've got a few good contenders. I won't rule any team out as well. So if I didn't mention your team, don't worry. Red Bull could be up there. We'll see what Aston Martin can do. You've got Alpine, you've got Stake Sauber. Any team could be up there. Mercedes as well, of course. So all 10 teams have a chance because you've got a driver from Pot A and you've also got a driver from Pot B. But I think you will have a few natural favourites. Haas will be right up there, you imagine. Visa RB, potentially. Williams could be up there. And then obviously the rest can also follow suit. But who will be the big challengers? I think Haas will be the team to beat in the international tier for next season. Right, let's see. Did I just hear I'll be good in a Ferrari? Yeah, you're alongside Merck for next season. Would all tiers race be on here? So it'll be all okay. So I've just done the international tier one, which is the only proper draft we've got to do, apart from the team principals, which will be next. Tomorrow night will be the one that you're looking for, Kesonator. That'll be for the tier 3, tier 2 and tier 1. Speaking of which, actually, what I'm doing next is not even the team principals. What I'm doing next is the tier announcements. Now this is going to be tasty. So let's go, shall we? Are you guys ready for the tiers 1, 2 and 3 announcements then? Which tier will you all be in? Let me know who's ready for it. Get your popcorn out. This will be interesting. I know some of you will know, that's those who are admins, and also I think team principals will know as well. But everybody else, this will be the first time you're seeing your tier. Tier 25. Not that low, Jar Jar Bing. We were looking for tier 4 for you, but we couldn't really make it. I'm joking. King ELG Tier 2. Cole's not really. Interesting. Kesonator Tier 3 for me. We'll find that one out. But I know already, of course, so I'm saying I'll find out, but let's see. Right. So we've done all of that, and let's go. So are you guys ready now? I'm going to be doing it for Tier 3 first and foremost. Let's see then. If I just remove, I just have to show that. There you go. That is your Tier 3 driver list for Season 7. So we got Coles 1997, I Am Batman, Jar Jar Bing, Iceman, PRV Widget, Shazam, Gooders, Adam the Sweet, UFRL Wilco, DD Friend, Shudson, Guy Bailey, and Kesonator. Those are your Season 7 Tier 3 drivers. We've got a few stats on the side as well. So from last season, Sainsy was your reigning champion. The runner-up was Mr. Piggy. Third place, 50 Gent, who just fended off Speedy Bullet for that position. Most wins, Mr. Piggy as well, with 6 victories. Most podiums was Sainsy with 11. And the most races completed was Sainsy with 21. For the drivers racing in Tier 3 this season, you've got the most wins is nobody. No driver in Tier 3 this season has won a race from Season 6. So that'll be interesting. We've only got a few of them, don't forget. But there you go. So no current season, no current Tier 3 driver won a race in Season 6 is effectively what I'm saying. So it's all to play for. The best qualifier last season was DD Friend, based on what we've got at the moment. The quickest in time trials was Coles 1997. The most podiums was Batman and Shazam with 3 in total. I think they got a couple of second place and a third place as well. Strongest on race results was Shazam. The most seasons raced with 4, Shazam, Widget and DD Friend. The fewest DNFs with 1, Shazam and Widget. Yes, Shazam is being noted quite a few times. And the fewest DNFs with 2, I Am Batman. So those are your important stats. But yes, the quickest time trial was Coles 1997 for the Tier 3 drivers. See, you want to be on the list. I didn't know that you definitely wanted to be in there. It sort of felt like it was a 50-50. But if you want to be on the list, I can easily put your name on there, to be fair. I'll add your name in now. You know what? It'll be easy. Right. Oh yeah, I've got to make sure it's in bold as well. There you go. And let's make sure it's listed in bold. There you go. Easily done. I also think, is your name a little bit bigger? It doesn't matter too much. But either way, there you go. So your name is on there now. But I don't think you wouldn't have had any of those stats anyway. So it wouldn't affect the stats at all. But there you go. Returning champ, indeed. Yes. But there you go. So you'll see your Tier 3 drivers has just been added by 1. Mrs. Poem will be linking up as well. I think that will be, is that 14 drivers now? 1 driver did actually leave earlier on, funnily enough, but it's okay. Got 14 drivers on there again. Right, let's go to Tier 2. Who is ready for Tier 2 then? Because if you're not in Tier 3, are you in Tier 2 or are you in Tier 1? Unless you didn't sign up, of course. I will note as well, I know Russell Bolt earlier on wasn't sure if he did. He did sign up for the midweek tiers, so let's see then. Let's go then. We're going to go straight for it. The Tier 2 drivers for next season is all there for you. So let's start off from the very top. Kingy OG, UFRL Steel Lane, Kingy the King, Mr. Potwash, Gandalf, Speedy Bullet, Hybrid, UFRL Ghost, UFRL Doug, John Casey, is John Casey in there? Oh yeah, he is, isn't he? Sorry, for a moment I thought John Casey was Tier 3. John Casey, Late Bloomer, Angry Badger, Mr. Piggy, Destroyer Drac, and Sainsy93, who of course is your reigning Tier 3 champion. So those are your drivers in Tier 2 for next season. Last season, of course, I topped the championship with 465 points. Runner-up was Ghost, missing out not by much. Salty Stevens took home 3rd place. I will note as well, Ghost did get maximum points for the final race as well. Ghost won 8 races in total. I got 15 podiums and 23 races completed. But Ghost was very close on both of those. I think he got 13 podiums alongside those 8 wins, of course. So he'll be one of the big favourites for next season as Ghost. He is listed on the Season 7 drivers only part quite a lot. King OG was the quickest in time trials. That's how close he was to getting a Tier 1 seat, by the way. Science 93 has the most seasons raced as well. Fewest DNFs, Doug and Gandalf, who did not DNF a single time, and the fewest did not start, Ghost with just the one. Those are your key stats for our Tier 2 then, for Season 7. Right, let's see. They're just noticing Salty Steven's not in Tier 2. Oh, well, there you go. What tier could he be in if he's not Tier 3 and he's not Tier 2? Or did he not sign up? I think we all know the answer to that based on what he's saying. Destroyer Jack, yes, that's another big name in there, but I have seen him race a little bit on this game. He's not quite as good as what he has been in in previous seasons. So let's see what Jack can do in Tier 2. But he is one of the bottom drivers. That's based on his time trials. That's why he's so low down. But there you go. And Signsy, of course, the reigning Tier 3 champion, makes his move up to Tier 2 as a result. Now, let's go towards Tier 1, shall we? Am I saying... I'm not saying he's washed, no. Not at all. I'm just saying one thing is he could be a contender for the title, potentially. If he picks up that pace as well, it'll be right up there. But you've still got a lot of good contenders. Like, honestly, my favourites for Tier 2, if I'm going to say 3 drivers, based on what I've seen from them, not just previous seasons, but this season as well, I'm going to go King of the King. I think he'll be right up there. Ghost should be up there. If Ghost ain't in there, then I'll be a bit confused as to why he wouldn't be. Third driver. See, it's going to be tricky because some of them I haven't seen on this game. Steel Lane, for example, I've not seen. Potwash, I've not seen. Gandalf, I've not seen. Hybrid, I've not seen much. Doug, I have seen. Just in case, because I don't know how Doug's going to fare against some of those top drivers, I'm going to say Steel Lane now. But again, I don't quite know because I've not seen him on this game. But there you go. I would say King Eater King, Steel Lane, and Ghost would be my 3 favourites just going off the bat. But I haven't seen Steel Lane on this game yet. And the only 2 drivers relegated as well from any tier were Steel Lane and Destroyer Drac as well. So they are the only 2 to have been relegated in Season 7. Yeah, I've got to say Ghost... very, very lucky that he's not in Tier 1, but he wasn't particularly great in his time trials. Who knows though, if he ends up showing that he's too quick for Tier 2, he will end up in Tier 1, I can promise you that. But there you go. Now, let's go towards the... I did go towards the stats, didn't I? As you can see, Ghost dominating it all. Not all of it, not literally, but most of it, yes. Sandbags. To be fair though, if he had won the title, he would be in Tier 1. So there you go. Speaking of which, are you guys ready for the Tier 1 announcement then? Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. And that is your Tier 1 drivers for next season. So, your reigning champion is Pesci. You've got Hazer. You've got Bad Boy, Young Lights, Putchy Head, Rusted Bolt, UFRL Mr. Poem, Lynx, UFRL Coffee, Dutch Beast. The only driver to go up from Tier 3 to Tier 1 is Dutch Beast. You've got Salty Stevens, formerly of Tier 2, UFRL Mercs, Algery was Tier 2 last season, UFRL Willie Fernandez, and UFRL F1 Viva as well, Tier 2 last season, of course, winning a title. Didn't know if I'd make the cut for Tier 1. That's me last every race. But your time trials were pretty quick, I've got to say. And by the way, the list is in order of time trial performance. I will just notice that. So that's why Pesci is up there ahead. Well, I say that. Hazer is top ahead of Pesci, but Pesci's being top because he won the title. So Pesci ahead of Hazer, but Hazer is the quickest in time trials, but the rest is in time trial performance. So as you can see, Salty Stevens, you were quicker than a few drivers in TTs. Right. So your overall performance from last season, reigning champion, as we can see, is Pesci. Runner-up Hazer. Third place was Lynx. Most wins Pesci with 11 in total. 17 podiums as well, but Lynx was the only driver to complete all 25 races in any tier, at least any of the midweek tiers last season, possibly any tier in total. I can't be too certain though. For the drivers for this season, obviously we've got Pesci, we've got Hazer on there. Pesci's on there another couple of times as well. Quality performances and race results as well. Most seasons raced, Russell Bolt and Mr. Poem were 6 in total. One of those was not in Tier 1, however. They were both in CR Tier 2, I believe, in Season 1. Fewest DNFs, 0 in total for Pesci, Lynx and Willie Fernandez. And fewest DNS, did not start, 0 for Hazer, Bolt, Poem and Lynx. As you can tell, plenty of consistency there. But there you go. So what was said? I think I saw something. Now we know it's in order. Can we see all tiers again? Yes, indeed you can. So I will show that for you. Before I go to the team principal part, I will show you that. So this is going to be tier 3 again. So that is in... It's not including Mrs. Poem's time trials because we don't have that. Because I didn't even know she definitely wanted to drive for next season. But there you go. Now she's on the list. But the rest of the drivers are in order of their time trials from last season. Well, from last season, for this season. So Cottle was the quickest, all the way down to Kesonator. But again, it's only time trials. It does not indicate their pure race pace, and it does not indicate their consistency either. There you go. That is your order for Tier 3. For Tier 2, that is your order based on all of that as well. King EOG, Steel Lane, King of the King. Ghost in there, only in the midfield, just ahead of Doug. Drac ahead of Sainsy at the back as well. Sainsy, your reigning champion, lowest in the time trials, and again for me, reigning champion for Tier 2, and I am listed last as well. I was lowest in the time trials. Willie Fernandez just ahead. Algery, Merckx very slow on that. Salty Stevens doing pretty well. Beast and Coffee, the two Dutchmen. Lynx, Poem, Russet Bolt. Impressed by Putchy Head as well. Yeah, 5th fastest in the time trials. Young Lights. And then you've got Bad Boy, Hazer and Pesci at the top as well. So let me know if there's anything you think I've missed on that, but I do believe I've gone through it all. That was a dig at me then. No, not at all. The Merc fall off is sad to see. Well, you say that it's sad to see. He hasn't actually fallen off because I've seen his pace in the game. Certainly race pace. I think time trial pace just isn't his main focus. His race pace is still there, I can assure you of that. His tiers are pretty balanced. Yeah, picked by time trials and picked by, well, considering the former champions as well. I was champion tier 2, hence why I'm tier 1. Sainsy was champion tier 3, hence why he's up to tier 2. It would have been the same if Ghost had won a tier 2 title, or it would have been the same if, who shall we say, whoever was finishing up there in tier 3. So you've got Speedy Bullet, 50 Gent, who obviously is not racing this season, and also there's one driver. I think Shazam will be up, could have been up there as well, maybe. Let me just double check. Tier 3, sorry. Mr. Piggy, that's the one. Mr. Piggy also. But Mr. Piggy is up there for tier 2 anyway. As you can see, his name 3rd from the bottom, but he is in there for tier 2. So those are each of your tiers. And now we'll go to the final part for tonight. Just before this time trial sucks, I'm coming for the championship. There you go. But here we go. Let's go to the final part, and it's the team principal draw or draft, effectively. I had to rush my TT, so I'm happy. The fact that you rushed it and still got 5th fastest. Merckx had a busy pre-season. He's ready. Had to get those upgrades in. I'm away for 2 or 3 races in July. Ooh, Hazer, have you listened to that one? Anybody else? Have you listened to that one as well? There you go. Right, let's go to the team principals then, shall we? I need to make sure I've got it all sorted out as well. Right. These are your 10 team principals then for next season. So you've got Mrs. Poem, the reigning champion with Red Bull. Dutch Beast, who got runner-up with the Visa Catch-Up RB. Of course, that was known as AlphaTauri last season. Coffee, King EOG, Shazam, Willie Fernandez, Shudson, Destroyer Drac, UFRL, Sick Man, and Bad Boy. Those are your 10 team principals. And now, let's get all of the teams back up. Just going to make sure, there you go. So, save that. And let's go to the team principals. Right, make sure this is all saved, is it? Nope. A couple of ones are incorrect, so that's one driver going in. It didn't save them earlier, that's why I forgot to press the save button. Didn't realise I had to until now. And I think there's one other driver, parkour. Yeah, the fact that I've done this from memory and I know the team principles, that's good. That's solid. Right, there you go. So all of the team principles are listed on there for you, and now we're going to show a different screen on the left side. Just make sure I know which one it is. It's that one there. So Pudgy saying Pesci, thanks, needed that. Yep, everyone needs to know that Pesci's missing a couple of races in July. Absolutely. So with that in mind, let's now show. We've already done that one. Which one do we need? We need this. And there. There you go. So your team principals are going to be listed onto this screen. You've got and the number next to it is the order of pick. This is for the first round only, but I will go into more detail with the team principals after I've done the draft. But the first pick will be the Kick Sauber. That's because Alfa Romeo, their former team name, finished last in the championship last season. The second pick will be going to Mercedes. That's because they finished 9th in the Constructors last season, and so on and so forth. Obviously, Red Bull, the reigning champions, they are 10th pick. Visa RB, second last season, they get a 9th pick. And again, so on and so forth. So we'll go straight to it then. The 10 names listed on there, and which team will they get for next season? Let's do a few shuffles straight off the bat. And the first driver, or actually I say driver, first team principal for Season 7 will be Shudson. Returnee for this season as well. So Shudson is the first name out. Let's make sure we save this. This is going to be crucial for the team principals. Right. Let's go to the teams then. Here we go. We've got 10 teams on there for you guys. And Shudson will be the team principal for Season 7 at the reigning champions Red Bull, meaning he will be the 10th pick for round 1 for next season. Kind of got to feel bad in that sense, but Shudson will be getting the Red Bull for next season as a team principal. Wonder how he feels about that one. So we could have 2 separate team principals if you're in. No, nope. You're all getting 1 team principal if you're in tiers. Wow, okay. Actually, I know what you mean. So if you're in tiers 1, 2, or 3, you get a team principal. If you're in the Inter or the 100% tier, you won't be getting a team principal. That's effectively how it will work. Just realised what you meant. But there you go. So Shudson will be getting the Red Bull for next season. Let's hide the Red Bull. We do not need that anymore. So this is only for tiers 1, 2, and 3, basically, is what I will state. And let's go back to the team principals. So we're down to 9 team principals remaining. Let's do a couple of, we'll do a few more shuffles, and there you go. So the second team principal will be, it will be UFRL William, or known as Woody Fernandez. So Woody Fernandez will be straight on there. Let's see then. Which team will he get for this season? Yep, the Red Bull is not on there. So let's again do a few shuffles and we'll go. Woody Fernandez, the team for Season 7 will be, and it will be Mercedes. So he will be happy with that to get a good high pick as well. So there you go. Second pick for Woody Fernandez. Nicely done. So Shudson gets the Red Bull, 10th pick. Willie Fernandez gets the Mercedes, which is the second pick for round 1. Therefore, he could be looking at a Pesci or a Hazer potentially. Let's go then. Hide the Mercedes. Let's save it again. And we'll now go towards the third team principal for season 7. Let's do a couple of shuffles and we'll go again. So the third team principal for season 7 will be the reigning champion UFRL, Mrs. Poem. So we'll hide that one, we'll save it, and now we'll go along to the team. So UFRL, Mrs. Poem, which team will you be getting for next season? So for season 7, UFRL, Mrs. Poem will be the team principal at Stake Sauber. She will be getting the first pick as well. That is luck. How have you got that lucky? First pick, UFO or Mrs. Poem, and it will be at the Stake or Kick Sauber for next season. Wow. Who would have thought that one? Hey, I think she'll be delighted with the first pick, but I will also note she'll be getting the 20th pick after that. So she'll have a lot of waiting time. But let's go again to the team principals. I will just have a little look if anybody has said anything in stream. Right. Sauber don't want me. I'm not worth your first pick, says Pesci. Interesting one. So I assume this is their teams they'll drive for too. Yeah, so effectively, if you're, as long as you signed up to drive in the midweek tiers, you'll also be getting these teams as well. So Shudson will be racing Red Bull, Willie Fernandez will be racing Mercedes in Tier 1, Shudson Tier 3 at Red Bull, Mrs. Poem Tier 3 at Kick Sauber as well. Let's see. But yeah, let's see, anything else being said? The wheel loves you. It does. It does love you, I swear. I think Mrs. P is having an affair with the wheel. Do we get certain race numbers? I'm not certain of what exactly you mean. Do you mean like Lewis Hamilton 44 or something? Let me know if you meant that. She always gets favoured from the wheel. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, cool. Right, let's go then. So we've got a few team principals done. Let's go to the fourth team principal then. So we've still got Beast, Shazam, Stickman, Kingy OG, Coffee, Drac, and Bad Boy remaining. Do a few shuffles, quite a few shuffles, and let's go. The fourth team principal then for season 7 will be Kingy OG. So we'll make sure Kingy OG's name will be listed off, and we'll save it. So Kingy OG, this will be your team that you'll be holding for next season. As you can see, you've still got 7 teams remaining, a couple of shifts, or shuffles, shall we say. And for Kingy OG, he'll be the team principal at McLaren, is it? Yes, it will be. So McLaren will get Kingy OG. That will be your team as well for next season. Wow, that's your favourite team, and that will be the team that you are going to be the team representative, basically. Decent. I think you'll be happy with that one. King OG is a team principal at McLaren for season 7. That is pretty much perfection for you, I feel. And we'll hide that one. That'll be the 8th pick for the first round as well. Right. Let's go back to the team principals then. Down to just 6 listed. Shuffle again. Let's go. So we've got the 5th team principal will be Tier 2's Destroyer Drac. There you go. Big pick this one. Destroyer Drac. We'll save it. And let's go all the way to the teams. So who will Destroyer Drac take ownership of for season 7? Here we go. And Destroyer Drac will be the team principal for Alpine. Just about getting in there. So Alpine have got Destroyer Drac. 6th pick in total then for Destroyer Drac. So there you go. So we've done a few teams already, but let's see who the next team principals will be. Again, we'll save it. Got 5 left to do. We're halfway through the team principal draw. And let's go through it. The 6th team principal for you. We've still got Stickman, Shazam, Coffee, Beast, and Bad Boy remaining. few shuffles, and here we go again. And it will be Dutch Beast will be the 6th team principal. So, of course, runner-up with the Visa Cash App RB last season as well. Of course, they were AlphaTauri. Let's go then towards the team list. For Dutch Beast for season 7, he will be the team principal of, it's looking to be Ferrari, and indeed it is. So the Ferrari will be getting Dutch Beast for next season. That will be the 5th pick in round 1. So Dutch Beast getting the Ferrari. Right. So as you can see, we'll hide that one and we'll save it. So we're down to just 4 now. 4 team principals with 4 teams to go. Coffee, Shazam, Bad Boy, and Stickman. Couple of shuffles, and here we go for the 7th team principal for season 7, and it will go to Shazam. So Shazam will get his team selection next. Who will the tier 3 driver be getting for next season? Let's find this one out, shall we? A few shuffles, and let's go again. 4 teams remaining. This is for Shazam for his team principal next season, and it will be last season's runners-up, the Visa Cash App RB. There you go. So the Visa RB will be listed for Shazam. Right. So a few good picks done so far. We've got 3 teams and 3 team principals remaining. Let's go to the team principals list then. Coffee, Stickman, and Bad Boy are still remaining, but before we do that, let's just double check the stream. Wasn't that? It wouldn't have been on Beast, no. It goes automatic anyway, whatever name's listed. I'll take that. Nice midweek pick. nice mid-round pick, yes. Haas. Jack's not happy. What team did you get? You got Alpine. You wanted Haas. Yeah, you wanted the 3rd pick. I see. Right. First out, get a worst team available in terms of picks. Literally, yes. But it's the reigning champion, so it might be a good opportunity. The Cash App RB, yep. Good evening, Mr. Potwash. Hope you're doing good. I think you may have missed what team you're in, what tier you're in. Either way, you could re-watch the stream afterwards. Anyway, plenty of detail in there for you as well. Right, let's go again for the 8th team principal for season 7. Do a shuffle. Coffee, Stickman, or Bad Boy. And it will be the tier 1 driver. It will be Bad Boy, who was the 8th team principal. Right, we'll hide that one. Let's save it. And for Bad Boy, for next season, you've got 3 teams. You've got Aston Martin, you've got Williams, and you've got the Haas. Bad Boy, you will be the team principal of Haas. There you go. So Bad Boy is a team principal of Haas for next season. And there you go, just getting the name in there. So Bad Boy at Haas for next season. We've got 2 to go then. And let's get down to it. Williams and Aston Martin are the 2 remaining teams. And let's go towards the team principals list again. Coffee and Stickman are the last 2. So the 9th team principal will be, it's very close, but it is UFRL Coffee. So UFRL Coffee is your 9th team principal. And now, which team will he get? So Aston Martin or Williams for Coffee. And it will be the Aston Martin. There you go. So the final picks are in. Aston Martin, you'll be getting UFRL Coffee, which means Williams will be getting UFRL Stickman as a result. There you go. That is your full team principal list then. And the first pick, Kick Sauber, will go to Mrs. Poem. The second pick at Mercedes will go to Woody Fernandez. The third pick at Haas will go towards Bad Boy. Fourth pick at Williams will go to UFRL Stickman. Fifth pick at Ferrari will go to Dutch Beast. Sixth pick at Alpine will go to Destroyer Drac. Seventh pick at Aston Martin goes to UFRL Coffee. The eighth pick at McLaren goes to King EOG. The ninth pick at Visa Cash App RB will go to Shazam. And the final pick in round one will go to Shudson at the Red Bull, the reigning champions for Season 7. That is your full team principal draw, and that means, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much tonight's draft done and dusted. Right, let's go through the final comments and tier washed. Well, you'll see. Tier washed, I'll see what you mean. You'll see which tier you're in anyway when you rewatch it. Coffee will get the Williams again. Which team did he get? Aston Martin, not quite. Let's go. Should Coffee happy with his team? It seems interesting one. Bet you were a bit scared. Oh, because you didn't want to get the Williams. I see. That's how it works. Damn, that's smart. I think that's for the team principles, right? Just don't want to drive with the same number as another driver. Oh, I see. Yes, we don't really bother too much with driver numbers. To be fair, I don't think anybody's that bothered. Some kid 7. Nah, I'm all good. To be fair, I'm just happy that it went as smoothly as I planned it to go. To be fair, that's what planning can do, I guess. I say planning. I planned all the PowerPoints and the streaming and everything, but I didn't actually do too much in terms of practice, so I'm glad it went pretty well. Tomorrow's going to be the big one, though. That's got all the team principals in there to figure out which will be their teams. So again, we'll have a little look. So as you can see on there, listed are your full team principals, and that is the final part of tonight's stream done. So we'll go back towards the PowerPoint, shall we, and show you what we've got to go through tomorrow, which is very little, really. I say very little, it's quite a lot, but there's only a little section. So we'll go back towards that, and there you go. So the final part then for tomorrow, it will be your full tier 1, 2 and 3 draft. Of course, many of you will already know your respective tiers, but you will not know your teams until tomorrow, because you will be drafted by one of those 10 team principals if you're in tiers 1, 2 or 3. So again, if you missed it all, I will state that, but there you go. Those 10 team principals will be selecting you tomorrow night, and all drivers will go as well. Which tier will go first to pick? This is the fun part. It won't be listed in tier order. You have free reign of tiers 1, 2 or 3. So whichever, so I'll go back on the team principal part then. As you can see, so the first pick, for example, is Miss Poem. She can go with anyone from tiers 1, 2 or 3. They all have their own valuations as well, might I add. So, and it's based on last season's performance and time trials as well. So if you know your name was listed high on the time trials, based on the time trials, shall I say, you will have a higher value. That is highly likely, let's say that much. Selected, you mean stuck with? Pretty much, whichever one you want to go for. But yeah, but there you go. So Mrs. Poem can go for a tier 3 driver if she wanted to, and then the next pick will be Willie Fernandez. He can go for a tier 1, etc, etc. So literally they can pick whichever driver they want from any of tiers 1, 2 or 3. But that is for tomorrow night. That has been your stream done for tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've had a good bit of popcorn as well. And I'm not even sure what the football score is. I have literally not paid any attention to the football today, simply because I've been wanting to get all this draft sorted out for tonight, and again a bit tomorrow as well. Let's have a look at the football score, should I? For the first time, if it wishes to show. There is football tonight, isn't there? I'm pretty sure. Earlier on, France beat Belgium 1-0. Interesting. Oh, a late own goal. That's a killer blow. Portugal drawing with Slovenia 0-0. Are you joking me? Wow. Okay. Very low scoring. Here we go. Um, I know who I'm picking. Yeah, I'm not surprised you know who you're picking. But I don't know if you read what Pesci said in the stream earlier on. If you did, then that might play something different in what you're thinking, but we'll find out. 0-0, yeah. Very low scoring. Thank you, Kizanator. Spill the beans, Cole. Not you. Oh, wow, that's harsh. But anyways, there you go. So that'll be your stream completed tonight. It's 9:30, so actually pretty decent. It's pretty much done like a typical race day. And then tomorrow night, we'll be doing the full tiers 1, 2, and 3 draft, which I've got to say I'm looking forward to, but a lot of stuff to get sorted out for tomorrow for my part as well. But here we go. I'm going to end the stream there. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have a nice evening, and I hope you're looking forward to tomorrow night as well. Thank you for watching, and good night.